Call the meeting to order. Is there any public comments? Larry?
It's come to my attention lately that it's not allowed any mud files. I don't think it's legal. They need to get that. They need to get that.
I know where it was last time. They're all the buildings. One with all the old public.
Okay. Good, thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to committee chair reports. Start with John. Judicial.
We'll be taking our normal reports, also further discussions on the security issues at the courthouse.
Okay. File management.
We're going to have updates on all the projects. We're going to put the farm contract out to bid, and basically just updates on everything.
Russell Highway.
Oh, our highway committee is going to need to take action on a couple petitions for box culverts, two down in Milks Grove and Pigeon Grove, Prairie Green, down in the southeast corner of the county. And then there's one up in Prairie Green, I believe. But there were three box culverts. It seems to me they were in the corners.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a couple at the wind farm area.
All right. Planning and zoning will basically same thing we've been talking about for the last 4 months. The discussion of enforcement of ordinances, regional planning commission, and the subdivision ordinance revisions. Hopefully we'll have a quorum. Moving on to ESDA report. Eric's here. Eric's not here, so we'll move on. There's no chairman's comments. Appointments. The vacancy on the full board will be filled at the August meeting. So that's, as far as I know from Kyle, that's the only appointment coming up. So move on from forensic audit update. Forensic audit update will also be at the full board meeting. Mr. Gary will be here with all the findings, and he will speak. So we'll move on to public comment parameters. I'll hand that over to John Scher.
On Tuesday, I met with Mr. Devine and reviewed the policies and so forth that we had approved at the last meeting and the comments that he had made. We had a very productive discussion, and what you have in front of you is a summary of what he and I agreed upon, and he has summarized that and submitted that to me, which I'm in turn submitting it to the committee. I think this is a very good policy. I think it's an improvement over what we had before, and I think that this is the way to go. So if anybody has any comments or questions, why Mr. Devine is here, as well as myself, to answer those.
Jim, do you have any input?
No. Yeah, I think it's appropriate for our board to consider this. I think it addresses the sometimes lengthy public policy sessions that we've had in the past, and my initial concern was time limits, and having done more research on time limits and really thinking back back on some of our prior public policy lengthy sessions. I do think it needs to be limited, but I also built in some flexibility for that too. So as long as we have flexibility and the time limitations and giving people an opportunity to speak, there's lots of jurisdictions, and John provided me some research. I also did my own research on different jurisdictions and different governing bodies who have policies on public comments. So I kind of tried to take what fits us best in incorporating this in the proposal, and so I'm okay with it.
Okay. It looks like you got something to say, Russell.
Well, you know, it's very rare that we ever have public comments that sometimes you feel that it's really more of a, when a school bus load all shows up, talk about the same issue, it turns into be more of a filibuster than a public comment. So based on this, we don't have a quorum, so we can't do a motion really, I guess, but we can make a recommendation to the full board from the committee. If the committee agrees and looked at it.
It's a good idea.
We're the full board wants to copy of that draft.
Yeah.
Well, it's available anytime. Yeah, it'd be posted.
Probably
But not secret about it.
Yeah.
I know how to make it public.
Put another board out there?
Oh, give it to her. Those are just the updates, I guess, there, though.
I guess there was one question that I had about this that maybe it's for purposes of clarification, but this is a policy, if adopted by the full board, then would apply not only to meetings of the board, but also to the committee meetings as well.
Correct.
That's correct. That's everybody's understanding, then that answers my question. So. Amanda's got a copy of it, so she can make
Yeah, I'm sure we can make more copies.
distribution to all the board members at the next meeting and so forth.
Really available.
I've got several more copies here. If anybody wants a copy today, they just let me know.
Further discussion? And then we'll move on to negotiations update. They're ongoing. 4th, I believe, is the next negotiation meeting, and that's with ASME. Okay. And then the 10th is FOP in this room.
Yeah, joint dispatch.
Joint dispatch. Okay.
Yeah.
Ongoing. It's the only way to describe it. Any correspondence?
No.
No correspondence. Claims, we don't have a quorum. You can recommend to the full board, or recommend to finance, I guess, would be better than you do. Anybody?
I gotta look at them, well, there's only 2 of them?
2 for Eric.
I recommend we send them to finance for approval.
Finance for approval? Yeah. Added to the finance agenda. Oh, no.
We're not very busy over there. Any old business? New business? Adjournment.
I think,
But
adjourn?
you can only recommend.
I recommend we adjourn.
I think you got a good idea.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That's like a policy procedure.